Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another JohnKeellsX live webinar. We've been quite excited over the last few months. We've received a good response regarding this. Received close to 150 applications. Glad you've joined this webinar, and we just hope to clarify a few of your doubts if you have any during the next few minutes. If you have any questions, please SMS us on 0772 441 888. I'll repeat, 0772 441 888, or you can just leave a comment on our FB page. So just to run through a bit of history as to how this all began. We had an Open Innovation Challenge last year with about 149 applications coming in. What we did was we shortlisted 10 of these applications for demo day, and there were two winners. The first place was Team Gendo, who received the prize money of 2 million, and the second place was Team Markify, who received 1 million, no strings attached prize money. We chose to do things a little differently this year, but before that we'll just go to a video from one of last year's participants.
Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Yoshit Virakon and I'm the founder of OnSpay. So, no doubt you're about to take part in JohnKeellsX 2.0, so let me give you a few pointers as to what's about to go down. First up, you're going to have so much fun it's not even funny. Second up, and more importantly, you're going to figure out whether your startup is actually worth the salt. So, this is not going to be easy, but it's going to be fun, as long as you follow my advice. Advice number 1, be friends with everyone. Give up the old ideas of not being able to share your thoughts and ideas and your experiences with everyone else. That's not true. This is the future. You can actually share your ideas, share your thoughts, and be friends with all the people in the industry. There's space for everyone. And I think JohnKeellsX promotes that most. So I hope you guys won't forget to apply for JohnKeellsX 2.0 this year. Perhaps I might apply for JohnKeellsX 2.0. If that's the case, I will see you there.
Thanks, Vishant. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nadeem, and I'll be giving you an overall view of John Keells Holdings. I'm sure most of you are very familiar with. So JKH is one of the premier listed conglomerates in Sri Lanka with a market cap of 1.5 billion US dollars. And we have approximately 13% of the Colombo Stock Exchange total market capitalization. Now, as at 31st March 2017, we recorded revenues of 106 billion and profit before tax of 22.8 billion rupees. Now, just to move on to the verticals that we operate in, looking at the organization structure. So we have the transportation sector, which is a leading bunkering and services provider, and we have a 42% stake in South Asia Gateway Terminals, which operates a container terminal in the port of Colombo. And then the leisure sector, we have the Cinnamon Hotels and Resorts, and one of the largest inbound travel operators, Walker's Tours. Then we have the property development sector, again one of the largest property developers in the country. And we have currently embarked on our landmark project, which is the Cinnamon Life project, which is Sri Lanka's largest private sector investment of approximately 850 million US dollars. And then we have the consumer foods and retail, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with the brands like Elephant House, Keells Super, and the Crest range of products, and also the Keells supermarkets. Then on to financial services, we have life insurance company and John Keells Stockbrokers, and we also have a stake at Nations Trust Bank. Then we've got the information technology sector and also the other sectors, including the plantation services. So I'll be talking about how we've evolved into the accelerator in the next few slides, but just to start off, so the application deadline is on the 25th of June. So we'll be selecting approximately 30 teams for the demo day. And we'll help you to prepare to pitch as well, because we'll have the weekly meetups and you'll get trained on the disciplined entrepreneurship framework to get your product MVP and business model ready for demo day. By Bill Ollett, he's the MD of the Martin Trust Center, MIT Entrepreneurship.
So we go through a video now.
Ha! Thought you were getting an MIT geek professor? No, just a crazy entrepreneur who wrote Disciplined Entrepreneurship. My name is Bill Olet, and I approve this message. To start a new venture, you need an idea and a team. And ideas can come from anywhere. And your first idea is unlikely to be your best idea. It's the process that's more important than the idea. You will refine your ideas until you find your idea that will change the world. So what specifically is in the book? In Disciplined Entrepreneurship's 24 steps to launching a successful startup, we have a winding path. Why? Because this represents the real world. This is how the journey of the startup goes through. But we have to have some place to start. And the place where we start, you see in the blue, is our first theme. That is, who is your customer? Because the single necessary and sufficient condition for a business is a customer. It's not about the technology. It's not about the product. It's about the customer. And then in the second theme, the red here is, what can we do for that customer? The next stage here is, how does our customer acquire the product? Understanding that leads us to the fourth theme here, which is, what are the unit economics? Is this a sustainable business? What's the cost of customer acquisition? What's the lifetime value? Because we need to get the economics right. After we know that, now we start building the product in detail. And here we have a very efficient and effective process to do that. Then we're going to expand here in the sixth theme is, how do you scale the business? To do that, we need to be disciplined about how we approach it. We need to have the spirit and energy of a pirate, but we also have to have the execution skills of a Navy SEAL.
So how does this work? So everyone gets the opportunity, whoever is shortlisted, that's the 30 teams, up to 30 teams, will get the opportunity to pitch on demo day, which will be on the 30th of October this year. And up to 7 teams could go through to the accelerator program and get up to 2 million rupees each. And just to give you an overview of the judges for this year, so we have Mr. Ronnie Piris, who's the current Group Finance Director of John Keells Holdings, Krishan Balendra, the President of the Leisure Sector and Director of JKH, Mr. Ajit Gunawardena, Deputy Chairman of John Keells, and Gihan Kure, President of Retail and Director of JKH, Ramesh Shanmuganathan, Group CIO, and then we've got Mr. Jonathan Allis, CEO of Hatton National Bank, and Dr. Hans Vijay Surya, CEO of Asiata South Asia. So moving over to the accelerator program, we will give you access to business and industry expertise, mentorship and training, office space, growth hacking tips from Europe's first growth hacking academy, and VP growth transfer wise unicorn, and also corporate services, so the finance and legal expertise and also secretarial expertise as well. And you get 6 months for market and revenue validation and scale customer adoption. So how it works is, so initially you get the 2 million rupees accelerator for a 5% stake, and thereafter, if we see the potential in your organization and if it's within the verticals and we see the scalability of your product, we can even go up to further funding of 50 million rupees. So everyone, sky's the limit. So send in your applications as soon as possible. The deadline is on the 25th of June, and I'll hand it over to Vishan to take you through the rest of the details.
Thanks, Nadeem. Before that, we'll just get a sneak peek as to what Growth Tribe is all about.
I teach a combination of digital marketing,
UX,
web scraping,
design for growth, data-driven mindset,
analytics implementations, marketing tools.
There's something called the digital skills gap. The amount of tools is increasing exponentially. Your skills tend to stagnate. We're trying to fill this gap.
Growth Tribe team is super excited to be part of JohnKeellsX 2017.
And we're looking forward to meeting you all in Sri Lanka.
Don't forget to send your application before June 25th.
So just a quick recap on the timelines for the program. So as Nadeem mentioned, 25th June is your deadline for applications. So in July we'll be shortlisting 30 teams and we'll announce it by end of July. August 10th we have the entrepreneurship training. From August to September we will have what we call Tuesday meetups, where you get access to your mentors at JKH. 30th October will be demo day, where we'll be shortlisting 7 teams for 2 million each, prize money of 2 million each. In November, you'll get access to customers and our channels. 15th November, we got the Growth Tribe curriculum going on. Then from December to April, we'll have weekly progress reviews. And at the end of April, you'll get a chance to pitch for up to 50 million rupees. So now is your chance to ask any questions. We'll be filtering out a few questions from our FB page and from our SMSs. So if you can just send them in now. Can we move to the FB questions?
Got a response as yet. That's because we haven't finalized all the applications as yet, and we'll be doing that at the end of this month once the application deadline is closed, and then we will get back to you with our feedback.
There's another question regarding JKH's stake and in NTP and what your involvement in their day-to-day structure is.
Yeah. So our stake in Nations Trust Bank is, we have a minority stake, it's a 30% stake, and we have members from John Keel sitting on the board of Nations Trust Bank as well.
What's the maximum number of contestants per team?
Ideally, it should be
between 1 to 3.
Yes. 1 to 3.
Give the viewers a bit of an idea of what last time winners were like and what they did.
Yeah, sorry about that. So the last time we had the team Gendo and Markify. So if you look at the team Gendo, that was Kirti Kodituaku, Isuru Rajkaruna and Charit Vitanage, and they provided a technology where they could monitor peripheral cardiovascular systems. And Team Markify was just a voice-controlled SaaS analytics platform and capabilities spearheaded by Dr. Sohan Dharmaraj.
There are a lot of startups who are kind of stable at the moment who have applied. But what are the chances of getting in if your idea is fresh and new with a small prototype? What is the evaluation criteria?
Yeah, so again, as long as you can come up with an MVP by the
demo day,
by demo day, which is 30th October, that's fine with us.
So there's a request for a webinar in Sinhala or Tamil as well. So maybe you guys should respond.
We'll look into it. Yes, definitely look into it.
There's another question: whether they have to submit an innovative product or if they can present a business strategy.
So maybe, an idea of your product and a mix of your strategy as well. You can mention that in your application. But by demo day, that's 30th, if you're shortlisted, you will have to have the MVP in place.
Yeah, I think Vishant, if you'd just like to run through that.
Yes, some other questions. I think we mentioned the main criteria the judges will look at. So we basically would look at your team, the capability of your team, the ability to scale, your product market fit, your ability to execute. Nadim, if you can add.
I think people ask us if it's mainly the idea, the execution, or the timing. So we think execution is key, because that's where you're really going to take your business forward. And timing is also important, but there are hundreds of ideas, so you have to be able to execute.
So we look at another question. What sort of business ideas we're looking at? This time we want to keep it close to our verticals, but we don't even mind. It's the way you spin your application, how you spin it towards our verticals. So that's our focus this time.
And the reason we want it to be also within the verticals that we operate in is because so that we can share our expertise with you, our customer base as well.
Can an individual be a team till the person finds a co-founder, which means can a person apply on his own until he finds a co-founder, or does there need to be a minimum of 2 people to apply?
Yes, so initially what we recommend is that there should be a team, but by the time you're shortlisted to the final 30, we would like to see a team in place because we don't think one person can really take this forward.
Sujiva asks, the project we wish to submit has just started its development and we hope to be in commission by August. How would you address that situation?
Yeah, I think as long as you have your MVP by 30th October, that's fine with us.
Azad is asking whether that he has a experimental food startup and whether he should apply for JKX.
I think he should apply for JKH and then we'll evaluate your application thereafter.
Pinnacle Soft Solutions asks, what about introducing an innovative education platform? Since it's not a part of your verticals, will you guys consider that as an application for this as well?
See, we will also look at the team that's backing these ideas as well when the applications come in, because some of these ideas could be pivoted as well.
So you can spin it off as IT solutions or something like that.
Could you guys explain to the viewers what exactly an MVP is?
Yeah.
Don't you say hi to those names? What's their name?
So what exactly is an MVP?
So so it's your minimum viable product. It's the product that you need to have to sort of get a taste of your first customers, your first markets, and then get feedback. So without that, you can't exactly gauge exactly what your response would be. So it's a very simple concept on what the MVP is.
And your MVP has to work on demo day.
Yes.
Can you guys give the viewers an idea of what exactly a good pitch would be? What would constitute a good pitch?
Yeah, I think that we would be, once you get into the program, we'll be helping you through that whole pitching process. I wouldn't be able to explain all of that to you right now, but we'll be guiding you through that whole process if you get through to the final 30.
Sean from Farmbox asks, I was at the startup meet, but I'm based in London. Will this be a problem for them?
Not right now, but as long as you can be here on the day of the demo day, that should be fine with us. Yeah.
Is it a must to occupy office space? So maybe you guys can highlight about providing office space for students.
Yes, so we will be providing office space for up to 7 teams that get into the accelerator program. And ideally, yes, we would like you to be based at the office space that we provide you, because we'll be sharing our legal, finance expertise with you. So we'd like you to be in one place.
How would you assess the chicken and egg problem? I think they're meaning like when it comes to ideas and like how dealing with the ideas of applicants and how JKH will take a stake in it.
Yeah, if you could just clarify that.
The question is, how would you all assess the chicken and egg problem? But what I mean here is like when the applicant comes to you with an idea, how does JKH play a part in that, and how much of a stake will you guys be doing, and how much of control will JKH have?
Okay, right. So right now, initially, when you get into the accelerator program, we only take a 5% stake for 2 million rupees. And thereafter, if you really do see potential in your startup, we can go up to 50 million rupees. And that will be for a maximum of a 25% stake thereafter.
And what kind of input will JKH have here, and what kind of influence will JKH have?
Yeah, so you'll be exposed to all our business verticals and the mentors from the different businesses. You'll be working very closely with business leaders who've had experience in the group for over 20 to 30 years. So I think the sky is the limit. So there won't be a better group than JKH, because if you look at the group, we are exposed to the growth trajectory of Sri Lanka, and the sectors that we are involved in, I think, is an ideal platform for you to start your startup.
So Raghulan also asks, how exactly will you guys help them reach customers? So maybe talk about how you have your own companies as customers as well as your auxiliary companies.
Yes, so we'll have our own companies as customers, but we'll be giving you limited access to some of our customer databases as well.
Jiva again says, could occupy the office regularly, but we wish to minimize our travel time, be more productive on development. We could meet the HR, legal, etc. as needed. Is that a problem?
So that's something we could discuss with you.
Riansi wants to know a contact they can get in touch with for more information. Maybe you can give a number, or is it the number that we...
If you can just drop a FB comment.
What are the criteria for the demo day?
Yeah, so if you like.
So like we mentioned, so you got to show your, like you said, the scale, your idea, your team's capability, and how Nadim mentioned how you can execute. So those are the main criteria.
So Sahan has asked, he's missed the response that you all gave him. He says, we applied on the 31st of March, which was the deadline for the early applications.
Yeah.
Can we know why we haven't got a response? So you all should tell them that the response was actually given at the meetup.
Yes, so yeah, the response was given at the meetup, and it was only for the first 75 teams that applied that got invited for the meetup, and we gave the feedback at the meetup itself.
But if they've applied early, that they'll have their stuff has been reviewed?
Yes, it has been reviewed, but the feedback was given at the meetup itself. Yeah.
Banu asks, is there any chance for a tech product?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Send in your application.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how would you define a tech product? I think that's also important. If it's a tech product related to an HR program, would that be considered a tech product or an HR product? Maybe y'all can specify that.
Yeah.
That again, it all depends on how you showcase it, how your application spins it. Maybe even if it's a tech product, you just spin it to one of our verticals. So I don't think that should be an issue.
Abhinaya asks, I have around 10 to 15 employees. Can I apply as well?
Yeah, so you can apply, but it's the 3 founders that you have to put down for the application.
Yes.
So Banu says that a tech product is related to supermarkets, so maybe y'all can talk about the supermarket Keell's verticals that y'all can offer there.
Yes, yeah. So as you know, Keell's Super is one of the largest supermarket chains in the country, and with a very aggressive growth strategy as well. So definitely, yes, there is room for partnerships with Keell's Super. So send in your application and we'll see how it goes.
Lohit asks, should we have a business plan ready on the demo?
Just say like hi, Lohit, say their name.
So Lohit wants to know if should we have a business plan ready on the demo? I think what you need to clarify is that for the demo day, it's the presenting the MVP, and that you all will help them from the business plan initially to get to the MVP.
Yeah.
You want to clarify that?
Yeah, so if you could just repeat that question.
Just how exactly you all take it from the business plan to the demo day MVP, and how you all will be helping them to come to them.
So demo day, so how we'll do it is we'll be helping you with your pitch and your business plan as well, and we'll be exposing you to the different sectors within the group, and wherever you need assistance, you will be given the assistance from the group as well. and we will help you to get up to a good standard on your pitch, and you will be pitching to 5 internal and 2 external judges on demo day.
Sahan asks again, so how can we, that's the one who applied early,
Yeah.
so how can we know whether we are selected or whether we need to resubmit?
Yes, so by the end of the month or early next month, we'll be getting back to you if your application was successful.
But if they, so I think Sahan wants to know, because he was an early applicant, if there's any way for him to get feedback now so that he can maybe resubmit before the 25th.
Okay, so we'll have to discuss that and get back to you, Sahan.
Should I ask? Yeah.
We can get back to you.
So Sashi wants to, once again, just to reiterate about the video that you guys will later do it in Sinhala and Tamil as well. Maybe something, a webinar like this in Sinhala.
Yes, most certainly.
We'll definitely look into it. Yeah.
Just, Steve wants to know if on demo day will they be pitching their demo in front of other contestants or just directly in front of the judges?
No, directly in front of the judges and the JohnKeellsX team, and not in front of the other contestants.
Riansu wants to know how they'll know if their idea is safe, whether somebody else can take their idea and run with it.
I think in this day and age, idea, like I said, is not everything. It's the execution capability.
In the application process, are you guys looking for the perfect company logos? Are those aspects important to you all now, or is it just the business plan?
It's just a business plan.
So those can be refined maybe in the 6 months to follow.
Yeah.
So that seems like it's it for the time to get good.
So we are done on questions. We can maybe wrap up. Thank you so much for participating, and hope this was of immense value to you.
Thank you very much, and we hope to see
your application
all
coming
of you all applying for JohnKeellsX 2017. Thank you.
Thank you very much.